Hello everybody and welcome back to Oakbridge Farm. So we are I did have a thought that if the TMR stays and these calves will just eat the silage first, I can put some silage in. This is the remainder amount. I've just filled the BJ up and this is the remaining amount left from there. So let's dump this in and we will just take note to see which product is going down. That hasn't taken much of that at all. So we'll turn it round. The rest of this, because I think we can just tip into our mixer, and I'm sure that's... Oh! Okay. Oh dear. I think I have an accident at the start of every episode. It'll be one of those things that I'll become known for in this, won't it? So let's just reverse back down here. And then let's pull on to our mixer and just see how much we can get rid of, because it doesn't matter if the trailer's still full, because we won't be using this for a short while, and the most likely outcome is it'll be going back to the BGA again, before we have a chance to use it. So there we go, we've got the dump signal, but I'll just pull a bit closer like so. So let's tip this into there. Is it going to take it all or not? No, so that's now full of silage. My cherry trees have come really lovely, which is a very nice thing to see. The only thing is when they lose their leaves, it's not the most prettiest of sights. So next job, we are going to go, and I think we've got some wheat or barley going round the roundabout. We've got some wheat or barley at the other farm. We're going to load up with that and bring that down here for the chickens, because I think we are about ready to move on to another month, which by doing so also means that it's either the olive oil or the planks. It's one of the two. They should be ready to be sold. So if we just pull under here, we have 24,000 litres of barley and no wheat, so it's just the barley we want, because this is all going to go to the chickens, and it will be hopefully after this harvest, if we have the money available, we're going to start looking at producing some flour. And there we go, we're full. We'll get down to the chickens. So we'll reverse to here, let's tip this in, and whilst that's tipping, let's have a look. So our large cow barn, the silage should or could be done with when we go into the next month. The goats, it always gets me because it says sheep pasture at the top. The goats have plenty of food. The sheep still have plenty of food. The chickens are now full, as are our Holstein. So we know that all the animals are fine. Let's now have a look at productions. So as I said, I filled the BJ up, so that's absolutely fine. The dairy. Okay, so we need to now go, and if we take the trailer off, we'll go find whatever buffalo milk we have. I'm nigh on certain I emptied this before I moved the buffalo over, but considering we're passing by, it would be silly not to check. So let's quickly check here. Like I say, I don't think there... Okay, there's 31 litres. So we'll take that and we'll move on to the next one. So that's slurry, so it must be this side that we need to go. Yes. Which, if we take a real wide... So I crash into the lettuce and then I crash into our milk tank. Right, and now on to here. That's buffalo milk. Okay, so that's a bit better. 1,000. So we end up with 1,281 litres, which we do have a load of young calves in there. Are they buffalo calves? So when they are old enough, they will reproduce. So we'll have twice as much milk, and then that shed itself, because I think it's 25 old ones, 25 young ones. The shed itself is 150. So it should prove very, very productive and very profitable for us. But right, just round the corner here, let's tip into here, and whilst that's tipping, I want to go have a look at our sheep. Yes, so it's working, is that shed. So it must be that when we sleep through the night, there is just too much for it to cope with. That must be the only reason why we build up over the night. So let's go back to factories. So oil mill. So if we sleep, olives and canola will be done. The sawmill's done, and these spinneries will be chock-a-block with wool. So the mixing just needs some hay, and like I say, the mineral feed lasts forever. So let's go back to our house, and I will see you all in the morning. And like before, the sheep pasture is full. So if we, that's a very weird sort of effect on there. So if we go into, let's go check our grass field. I need to get off this first. So let's visit. So ready to harvest, yield potential. So is that the tallest? If we run to the edge, let's see if there is any difference. Okay, not really. So I think that could be the tallest. So that could be ready to harvest this month. And if we go down to here, that's ready to harvest as well. Okay, so we've got a fair bit of grass work to try and do. So what I will do is, if we find the John Deere, we'll put the mowers onto this. We can cut one of them, which we may go and cut the furthest away one, because I think that's the one, if I remember rightly, I think I said that was going to go for hay. We'll cut that one, and then we've got the olive oil to sell, so we'll have to go gather that up, sell that. We can then go cut the one just here near this farmyard, and that's going to be silage, I think. I'm just trying to debate whether it'll be worth using it wrapping them instead of using a silage clamp, because we still have loads of silage left from when we did the maize harvest. But right, let's reverse onto this one, and then I will see you. Let's get onto here first, and I will see you in our grass field just over by the sheep. It'll be the first time that we've cut this. So we'll pull in through our new gateway, and I think, is it Control X to unfold both? And we will. I know the border isn't classed as the field, but it will be worth taking it in. We then need to also, we don't want swath dropping, so Control Y. We want both of them up if this is going to be hay. Let's just back up to here. Oh, there's not much of a border anyways. And then I forget which button was it, that to turn both on. Yes, so I did. I was just trying to think, did I assign it to some keybinds, which I didn't do. So we will get this headland done, bring in a bit more grass if we can, and then it'll be a steering assist job. So the worker can cut this field whilst we go and jump into our lorry, which is still running, and we will go gather up our olive oil. and then I think we can do that to the farmer's kiosk. Do we just load up this fabric and we can sell this at the same time? I think so. Well, there's another 5,000 litres of fabric, so as we're going up that way, we might as well call into the farmer's market first, turn round, and then get the olive oil. Without the weight on, it seems to be a lot more responsive, does this trailer. So I don't know whether it's worth, when we are doing big loads, obviously I would rather put the weight onto the tractor unit, but it's whether we should bring the weight just slightly further back. But anyways, we'll go sell this first. So hopefully there'll be, I don't know what we'll get here. Do you reckon we'll get 50,000 maybes? So let's just pull onto here, and if we hop out there under, so distract 65. Okay, I'm not complaining at that, that's brilliant. Another, well, almost £70,000 there, just for not doing a right lot, and the price isn't even the greatest. And now it's the olive oil's turn, which there is another pallet just spawned as well. So we pull onto here. I will just jump cut this, and I will see you at our farmer's kiosk down there. This junction here is always a very, very tight junction to try get through. So let's pull him to the kiosk. So 6,000 litres of olive oil. Let's sell that. So there's, well, over £70,000, including the environmental score. And it will probably be worth, because it is planks. Right, we're going to go load up with the planks. And where do we, because I'm avoiding the farmer's market, so we should have gathered them up when we took the fabric. I'm avoiding the sell everything container, and it gives us the best value most of the time, but that's only there just so that we could sell our digestate. So there is a strong probability that we will make 900,000 by selling these lot, and spreading the weight like I have done there has made turning and traction a lot better. So let's just pull onto here, and they are all in, I think. There we go. So let's sell these. 903,000. So that's 76,000 pounds just there with the environmental bonus, and that's put us over, well, almost. Do you reckon we'll make $1 million? Is there anything else to sell if we went and sold some silage? Although the silage in FS25 has been significantly reduced to what it was in 22. We'll just park up here on the right, and I'll just have a look. Is there anything else worth selling? Obviously silage, that would get us over, so that would put us into, that would make us millionaires. Eggs, would get a bonus, so we'd get over 60,000. Buffalo mozzarella, again we would get a bonus, but there's no point selling that. Straw, we need the straw. Wool, that won't get us over. I think we are just going to have to go on the fact that we are not going to be... Oh, I forgot to return that. First, let's just empty it, and we'll return that spreader. I think we're just going to have to go... We're not going to be millionaires in this episode, and certainly not the next, because I imagine the next we will be looking... Oh, better get that off, because and in the next episode we will be spending the majority of it buying ourselves a nice new combine harvester. So, but in the meantime, let's just leave that there. We want to get to the case, and I'm just trying to think what's best. The John Deere will probably be the best one to, so we put the windrower on here, because the John Deere will pull the baler a lot better than what this will do. So if we're tedding and then windrowing then baling, it makes sense the John Deere to be on the tedder and this to be on the windrower. So we'll put this on now, and then we'll bring the John Deere back and put the tedder on that, and we'll go to our hayfield. The big thing, oh there it is. Ooh, that'll be very, very tight to get down. So put this on, and then let's find the John Deere, because it did flash up saying our worker had completed his task. So fold all these up and let's go get the tedder. So we can just reverse into here now, put this on, which, we're just admiring our solar panels there. These will be the next upgrades for grass work, is a bigger tedder and a bigger windrower. Try and make, I keep forgetting about this gateway that we have down here, which just cuts doing that loop and that corner out. Can we get through here? Yes. Right, we'll get to the field and we can start tedding. So I will have to, once we've tedded this, we'll bring the case here, but I will have to do the headland first, just do one lap round, because we've gone outside the field boundary, and then I will leave the worker to do the rest of it, whilst then we can then nip off, go get our baler and start baling our grass field, and then once that should then make sure that the worker's finished here, and then we can come straight into here to bale to finish the episode. I've just been thinking about where this series, where we are going to go with it. And I think, because obviously we've just made we've got 905,000 in the bank. I think what we'll do is we will wait for the poplar harvest, and whenever that comes, if we do have crops in the ground, which we most likely will do, we will finish this series on that harvest being the last one. So we do harvest the poplar, then we'll harvest everything else that we've got, and then I think that would probably be a nice way to end this, in my thought anyways. But at the minute we're just going to go back, go get the case, and we'll do the first headland. We'll just do that off camera, and we can set the worker off in there, and then we'll finish on one final time lapse of where we should get all the baling done. So we'll just reverse this into here, and then this can be all ready for what? Oh, I'm still reversing. This then can be all ready for once we set the worker off in the case. So can we get this from here? Yes, we can. So we'll just pull this out the way like so. Go jump in the case, and well, it's still running, so that's alright. We can pull this to the field now and just do that first headland. By also waiting to do the poplar harvest, it may give us plenty of time for another British map to come out. Because I know for myself, obviously I'm from the UK, that's what feels like home to me, if that makes sense. So that's what I would quite like to focus on doing. I would also like to try, if we can, keep... Oops, I crashed then. Try keep it so that we do another sort. So maybe an American map, or something that's a non-European. Just so that hopefully there'd be something for everybody. So AI worker, let's set you off, and let's now go find the John Deere again. And did I install? Let's just have a look before I do these bales. We want to go down to bale wrappers. So 220. I don't think I installed, so we'll just have to do 220 to begin with, because there is, where change bale size 220. There is I don't know whether is it the ultimate baling mod, is that what it's called, where you can do 240 everything. You can wrap 240 the lot. You can get a whole chain on the back of your Chrome Big M, where you have your Chrome, obviously your mower, then you can have your baler, then you can have your wrapper, and then on top of that you can also have your auto load, which it's not something that I think I would do. I would probably do it if I was just having a bit of fun, definitely, because it just saves so much time. But obviously doing a series like these, I know there are certain things, like having the extra width on the baler, which for me, that's just a quality of life sort of mod. It's not something that I would do in one of these, unless you're doing sort of like an unrealistic or anything of that sort of thing. But could very well change my mind. But in the meantime, let's get some baling done. The workers in FS25 are certainly a lot better than 22, and I didn't have the privilege of any of the other games before 22, because that's when I first started playing. But it does lead me to think, what on earth was that worker doing whilst we were baling that other field? He had hardly done anything. So I'm unsure whether he'd maybe have done the headlands first, and that's what took all its time. But I think that time lapse would have been one of the longest I would have done. But I could very, very well be wrong on that. But I think what we'll do is we will just jump cut to the end of this, which shouldn't take us too much time. Grasswork seems to be where we have the most issues, sort of graphically, I should say, because if you look at the swaths, they keep changing all the time, or the rows of grass, like just there. It does make me very, very thankful that I did, with the anticipation of 25 coming out, I did upgrade my CPU, which also meant that I upgraded my motherboard and most of the cooling system inside. But it does make me think I should have gone bigger. And I think I did mention it very early on in this series about that I am looking at the Alienware computers. Obviously it's just getting the finances to do that. And if I do, which I will do, if I do eventually purchase one, it will be a complete overhaul. Obviously monitor, the lot, everything will be changing, and I can't wait to see the difference in sort of the quality of what I'm playing with, but also with what you lot will all get to see. The only issue will be is I'll have to make sure that there is amples of videos backed up for the time it takes, obviously, to download the game, get all the software on, because I use OBS to record. It'll be changing all the OBS settings to hopefully get the best picture quality that we can get, which I'm hoping this is alright as is, but you can always do better. So we're just going to pull into the shed, park this up, and then that will do for this episode. And then in the next episode we need to have a look at combines, because we should have our small canola field ready, and we should also have enough money to buy a harvester and the header. It just all depends which harvester are we going to go for. I know for me the Nexat pack, it is a brilliant pack, very well made and all that sort of thing, but for how I like to play the game, it's not something that I would go for. It makes complete sense with a lot of it all, but I like to stick with the classic of smashing things. I like to stick with the normal combine harvesters, and it would just be debating whether we go Class, New Holland or Case. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.